Superman. Red kryptonite exposure. Batman's plan to stop Superman involves synthetic red kryptonite, a compound created in his lab. Unlike green kryptonite, which weakens Kal-El, red kryptonite affects his mind, causing unpredictable behavior ranging from paranoia to aggression. In the Tower of Babel storyline, Batman modifies red kryptonite to make Superman's skin transparent to sunlight, overloading his senses and rendering him unable to function. This tactic doesn't just weaken Superman physically, it neutralizes his perception, effectively crippling his ability to fight. The psychological aspect is important here. Superman is not used to being incapacitated, and panic could follow. Batman keeps this kryptonite in a lead-lined ring, always close, just in case. Wonder Woman. Mental trap through virtual reality combat. To defeat Wonder Woman, Batman proposes trapping her in a virtual reality loop, where she is locked in eternal battle with an imaginary, undefeatable enemy. This preys on her warrior spirit. Her refusal to surrender becomes her downfall. This method doesn't involve brute force, it's psychological warfare. Wonder Woman's greatest strength is her discipline, but when pushed past a breaking point with no resolution, even she can fall victim to mental exhaustion. The tech used could be a hybrid of Martian telepathy and advanced VR simulation created by Batman. The Flash, Wally West, or Barry Allen induce seizure using strobe frequencies. To stop the Flash, Batman designed a vibrational bullet or light-based device that emits rapid strobe frequencies calibrated to Flash's exact neurological pattern. This would trigger seizures or extreme disorientation, effectively grounding the fastest man alive. In Justice League, Doom, Batman adapts this idea to use nanites that cause misfires in Flash's perception of space-time, making him trip or slam into walls at full speed. The plan relies on precise data collected over years of Flash's activity, timing, reaction rate, and speed thresholds, all recorded and analyzed by the Batcomputer. Green Lantern. Psychological shutdown through fear-induced paralysis. Batman's plan for Green Lantern is terrifyingly simple. Remove his willpower. He does this by exposing him to a simulated event where his greatest fears come true, typically involving the death of innocents or catastrophic failure due to his own actions. In Justice League, Doom, Batman creates a fear toxin similar to Scarecrow's formula, laced with nanites, that causes hallucinations of personal failure. Without will, the ring becomes useless. Hal Jordan's emotional instability, his past as Parallax, his struggles with guilt, is key to this strategy. Batman exploits not the power ring, but the man behind it. Martian Manhunter. Nanite-based magnesium poisoning. John Johns' greatest weakness is fire, but Batman doesn't rely on conventional fire-based attacks. Instead, he introduces nanites into John's bloodstream, possibly via food, water, or even airborne agents, that convert his sweat into magnesium. When magnesium is exposed to air, it ignites, effectively setting John on fire from within. This cruel method disables Martian Manhunter physically and psychologically. His trauma associated with fire makes it a perfect tool for incapacitation. Batman's analysis showed that inducing internal combustion would be harder to control or phase through, giving him the edge. Aquaman. Induced hydrophobia. To neutralize Aquaman, Batman develops a neurological toxin that causes hydrophobia, a psychological aversion to water. Delivered via gas or injection, this toxin attacks the brain's limbic system, causing irrational fear responses at the sight or touch of water. Since Aquaman requires water to maintain peak strength and survive for extended periods, cutting off his connection to it renders him weak, delirious, and vulnerable. This plan is particularly cruel. Batman turns Arthur Curry's entire environment into a threat. Cyborg. Electromagnetic pulse, EMP, disruption. Cyborg, being half machine, is vulnerable to electromagnetic pulses. Batman's plan involves deploying high-frequency EMP grenades customized to penetrate Cyborg's internal shielding. Additionally, Batman has remote override codes created through subtle infiltration of Cyborg systems during maintenance sessions. These codes would shut him down or reroute his neural connections to paralyze his movement temporarily. While Cyborg has upgraded beyond conventional EMP attacks, Batman accounts for this by using satellite-based pulses from Wayne Tech orbital platforms. Zatanna, vocal cord paralysis through nanites or gas. Zatanna's power comes through spoken spells, which require precise pronunciation. To disable her, Batman designed a targeted gas or nanite injection that paralyzes the larynx or vocal cords temporarily. This would prevent her from casting spells verbally. If she tried to use backward-written magic or sign language-based spells, Batman has countermeasures that include spell blockers based on arcane tech he acquired from Jason Blood and Dr. Fate. This plan represents Batman's rare intersection with the mystic world, something he usually avoids unless absolutely necessary. Plastic Man, deep freeze molecular containment. Plastic Man is one of the most physically indestructible members of the League. Batman's plan involves using extreme cryogenics to slow down his molecules, effectively freezing and immobilizing him. Once frozen, Plastic Man can be shattered or locked away in containment chambers. This approach was theorized in the JLA comics, where Batman acknowledged that Plastic Man's shape-shifting and elasticity made him immune to traditional attacks, but vulnerable to thermal manipulation. Shazam, magic disruption through electromagnetic distortion. To stop Shazam, formerly Captain Marvel, Batman uses high-frequency sound dampeners and magic disruption tech developed in collaboration with Mr. Terrific and Dr. Fate. The goal is to interrupt Billy Batson's ability to say Shazam and transform. If Shazam is already transformed, Batman deploys devices that mimic the magical frequency of the wizard's spell, destabilizing the magic field and reverting Billy to his mortal form. In the Injustice storyline, while not part of Batman's original plan, this concept is tested, highlighting that Shazam's transformation process is his biggest vulnerability. Hawkgirl, Hawkman, nth metal nullification. Batman's strategy against Thanagarian warriors like Hawkgirl involves magnetic field generators tuned to disrupt nth metal, the source of their strength, durability, and flight. By disrupting the anti-gravity properties of the nth metal, Batman can bring them down to Earth, literally, and use tranquilizers or physical restraints to subdue them. He's also studied the reincarnation cycle of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, storing ancient Thanagarian weapons to exploit any gaps in their memories or weaknesses from past lives. Green Arrow, conventional disarmament and psychological leverage. While not a meta-human, Oliver Queen is dangerous due to his resourcefulness and unpredictability. Batman's plan involves non-lethal disarmament, gas pellets, tasers, and sonic disruption arrows to counter Ollie's trick shots. More importantly, Bruce keeps extensive psychological profiles on Queen's personal relationships and vulnerabilities, particularly his connection to Dinah Lance, Black Canary. Emotional leverage is part of this plan. Batman doesn't just beat Ollie physically, he destabilizes him mentally. Batman, the failsafe protocol. What if Batman himself is compromised? Bruce has a protocol codenamed Failsafe, a robot built by him in the event of his moral corruption or death. Programmed by the purest version of his moral compass, created by Batman Zur-En-Arrh, it activates autonomously if Bruce ever kills. Failsafe knows every tactic, every escape route, and every contingency Bruce has ever thought of. In the 2022 Batman run by Chip Zdarsky, Failsafe proves capable of outsmarting Bruce himself, the Justice League, and even Superman in close combat. Batman created the most dangerous weapon against the Justice League, and then created something even more dangerous to stop himself. The philosophy behind the protocols. The contingency plans are not just about tactics, they're about control. Batman doesn't trust power without accountability, not even his own. That's why these files exist. But when they were stolen by Ra's al Ghul in Tower of Babel, the Justice League felt betrayed. Superman asked, "How could you do this?" Batman replied, "It had to be done." Because to Batman, failsafes are not a betrayal of trust, they're the ultimate form of responsibility. If you liked this video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.